Hey vinyl community, this is Greg from Three Dimensions of Music. Went to the flea market today, picked up some great titles, at least to me they're great titles. Some fillers of holes in my collection, and also some new stuff for me. There's four CDs and 12 records. I'm real excited to show you. First ones are the CDs. I'll go through them real quick. This one's sealed. John Prine. First John Prine in my collection, fair and square. There was a young lady that was selling these, and these are still sealed for $1. Next one, and I found out this was a pretty good find, Paul Weller, Under the Influence. He does a lot of covers of a lot of different people. Little Richard, the Headhunters, Richie Havens, Charles Mingus. He's all over the place with these covers. But I read on Amazon, like, this thing was like 25 bucks used, and it's sealed. Paul Weller, Under the Influence. So I'm anxious to hear that. And she had a couple of these, but only picked up one. The Essential Leonard Cohen. It's the first, I think it's the second Leonard Cohen I got in my collection. I picked up an extra Leonard Cohen a while back, but haven't listened to it yet. This is a 2 CD set, I guess, the Essential Leonard Cohen. And a couple of these CDs are imports, which is pretty cool. Last one, which is an import, was Asia. Everybody's familiar with Asia. It's got Steve Howe, John Wetton, Carl Palmer, God bless him. He's passed. Asia, and this was made in England. So that's pretty cool. I like Asia. As far as records go, I did clean them up, but I didn't clean them to play them yet. But this one you guys seen before. I've seen Stoner from Stoner Stash Box show this. Joe Cocker, big fan of Joe Cocker. This is Mad Dogs and Englishmen. I think he picked this up a little while ago, but I was happy to find it myself. Jacket's in pretty decent shape, not an A+, but it's still got some nice records, nice shape. The records are in really good shape. Next one is Easy Rider. I've seen this shown from time to time, and this one was in pretty good shape. So I picked it up. It's on Dunhill. Everybody knows Easy Rider, the movie, I hope, except for the youngsters. And you should watch it. It's actually a pretty fun movie with Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda, Jack Nicholson, when he was just starting out. Great movie. Not a great ending, but what are you going to do? That's life. Iron Butterfly Ball. This is a hole filler. I've got quite a few, not quite a few, but a few Iron Butterflies. You can't find them in really good shape. This one's on Atco. It's in pretty good shape. I was happy to find it. And it did have the, I'll show you the back of it. And it had a nice gatefold too on this Iron Butterfly. I got all these put together. I think it did, yeah. Of the fellas. Oh, I glued that. That was all ripped up. So Iron Butterfly Ball. And then the actual poster, which is there in pretty good condition, which I wasn't aware that had a poster in it, is these guys were obviously anti-war, and who isn't? Great poster. All right, Iron Butterfly Ball. Next one, Johnny Winter. Shout out to Happy Hippie down in Tennessee. I know he's a Johnny Winter fan, so am I. Blues. And this is actually Columbia 2i in pretty good shape. Johnny Winter. Next one, Badfinger. I don't have many Badfinger. I don't see him around very often. This one's called Ass, which is a funny name for a, but check out the inner. It is an ass, indeed. Badfinger on that Apple label. Okay. Next one I found was, and this was all from one place in one stack. I wish I'd have got there sooner. I'd have probably found a few more, but maybe that's just as well because I would have spent too much. Now, all of these records were about $3.20 a piece by the time I negotiated down to 12 albums. So $3.25 a piece, not too bad. This one, nice find for me. I've been getting into these guys since the RSD releases. Canned Heat, Historical Figures and Ancient Heads. Canned Heat. I love their blues. And I think this has a nice gatefold too, if I remember right. Let's see. Yeah. All the fellas in their psychedelic splendor. Okay. Next one up. I'm always looking for a good OG of Aqualung, hard to find, in good condition. This one, the outside's not the best. It did have the insert, but the jacket, not in the best shape. Some of these had a little bit of water damage. They do travel around with these people in these flea markets, so we'll see how the album sounds. I'm hoping it's kind of quiet. We'll see, because I missed out on the Steven Wilson remix. I heard that was pretty good. I have most of Santana. This one I was looking for a long time. Welcome. Not much you can say about Santana, other than you like him, you don't, you don't. But I love him. I love his band. Welcome. That was one I've been looking for in the wild. Next one, a filler. I've been seeing this a lot. Madman Across the Water. Elton John. Everybody's been harping that this is a pretty good LP. It gets a lot of bad press from some people. They always think something's better, but I was watching Melinda Murphy, and she was saying how much she liked this herself, and I like the Melinda Murphy. She's a sweetheart. And a few other people said that this was a sleeper. I guess a sleeper would be the name for it. Madman Across the Water. Elton John. That was a filler, because I have Honky Chateau and a couple other live ones. This one was one I wanted to fill. This Red Grand Funk, one of the original on Capitol. I have a lot of Grand Funk, really good band. And next one, Deep Purple. I have a lot of Deep Purple, but didn't have this. I know this is not that old, but I see a lot of people showing it. Some people like it, some people don't. But I like the Deep Purple. It's usually about at least half the album's pretty good on Deep Purple. Sometimes the whole album, you just never know. But I'm not going to pass it up for the price and the condition. Nice, very nice, V++. And last one, but not the least, one of my favorite bands, Spirit. I didn't have this one, so I'm glad to get it. Looks like it's an old one, or ode one, O-E-D, O-D-E. Yeah. Spirit, kind of like a psychedelic California band, where Randy California is the guitarist. I've always loved Spirit. And this one goes out to Tony P. I know you love Spirit too, and I wanted to say hello to Tony P. Two from the trunk. Another, I don't know if I said Stoner Stash Box or not. And I've been watching the Old Goats vinyl. Great channel. You guys got to catch them. I'm sure most of you have, at least the ones that are watching me. Thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate your support.